Hello lamp fans, this week we're looking at the Vertiques and specifically the old and the reproduction or the reissue that came out I guess about 20 years ago. So I did pick this up a few weeks ago in a pick, and it did have, I spotted it right away as a reproduction. A couple things, well, this burner I put onto it is the correct Model 23 burner, but it had, it actually had a Super Aladdin, which was a great, which is basically a Model A for England. It was on it, but what gave it away was the shiny collar up top. So there's a huge difference between the old collar and the new collar. So the old collars, they all had a radial groove or like a slot or a groove on the side. So that's how you sort of tell. This has a smooth collar. But this is a fairly faithful reproduction in green moonstone, I should say. So the original is a bit lighter in color, and the newer one's a bit more dark or a bit more bluish, I guess, in the blue range of the green. But it's a really good reproduction, I tell you. The detail on these is actually better than the original. So they actually did a really nice job. So I was kind of going, this is really strange. The foot looks like really, like normally a reproduction, the moldy's not as good, but that's the biggest difference is going to be the collars. The rest of them are more subtle cues. So, I mean, of course, the filter cap, it's got that big one that kind of points up vertically. The old one had the flat one. Now, that being said, it wouldn't take me more than 5 minutes to put one of these on and to change that out to that. I mean, I could easily turn this into a forgery, I guess, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to leave it at original. And as I said, I just put a new burner on it because it had the wrong burner and it looks all nice and clean and new. There are subtle differences as well too, and they're hard to see, but it has to do with the way the ribs go. So, and this particular line here. So if you take a look at this one, it's actually higher up and it's a bit higher too. This is a bit more flush and it's a bit lower down. I mean, they're side by side and they're hard to tell, but they are. This has more just a little bit longer. It's probably about 1 millimeter. It's not very much. The other thing that gives it away too is this glue. Actually, the glue here, you can sort of see it shining there. If you get your black light, it kind of glows. So it's a new style glue. So that really tells you the differences, you know. And of course, the original one would have had the original ones have a nickel plate on them, and this one's half worn off, and this one is just a bright polished brass. So as I said, that's what kind of gave it away to me. Also underneath, the ribbing goes down a little bit further versus this one. As I said, it's going to be hard to see even side by side. You really got to look at them close. But anyway, so I didn't pay a lot for that lamp. I mean, much less a third of what one of these is worth. You know, it's still a good $100 lamp any day of the week. It's a good looking lamp, and you know, it'll probably run and perform fine. But I'm just going to keep it on the shelf just so for comparison's sake. But anyway, so that's the difference between the original 1938 Vertique and then the reissues that came out, I guess, somewhere around the 2000 range. And that's it. So that's how you tell. I know they did the green. I know they did a fake red one. I'm not sure if they did the other colors as well. I haven't really seen those. I think they might have done white, but this is the first one I've seen in 20 odd years of collecting. They just don't come up that often. I find them more rare than the older ones sometimes. At least that's the way it's turning out to be. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week's video and have yourselves a great day.